Hey, what's going on everyone? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Randy, and today I thought it'd be fun to have a best of 2024 for scale figures that I got, and have a couple different bonus categories as well, just to liven it up. So this is just going to be chill, laid back fun. This is just my personal opinion list of the figures that I actually own. I'm not doing anything for figures that I don't own, because that just wouldn't be fair to judge it just based on pictures online and other people's thoughts on the figure. So figure just a chill, fun, good time, and then some bonus categories as well. I'm actually going to start us off with some honorable mentions that didn't quite make the cut, and this is going to be a top 5 list. I didn't get a ton of figures in 2024 that released in 2024, so whittling it down to 5 would be best. Otherwise, it's pretty much just going to be all the figures, so that wouldn't be much fun. So I've whittled it down to a top 5. I have some honorable mentions and then some bonus categories like the biggest disappointment, the the broken award, and the best re-release that I got that re-released in 2024. Now the top 5 are all going to be figures that newly released in 2024. No re-releases were counted. It was just the ones that originally came out last year. So without further ado, let's get into the honorable mentions. This list is in this portion is in no particular order. The top 5 will be my favorite, starting from number 5 and going up. So let's get to the honorable mentions. All right, here is figure number 1. It is Itsuki Nakano from the Quintessential Quintuplets. This is her date style, the 1/6 date style version from Good Smile Company. Absolutely love this figure. It came out beginning of the year in 2024. I had the whole rest of the collection by then, so I was really just waiting on her. It's probably one of my favorite sets that I have. I don't have too many sets, but the date style version set is really, really nice. Great quality for the money, huge size, couldn't be happier. I absolutely love all the food, the cream on the mouth and everything. Like it is, I'm a huge foodie. Love, love, love food. Sweets are like my guilty pleasure. Um, and I really identified with her and her just nonstop wanting to eat, always snacking. So love this one. I love the color scheme too. Like I absolutely love the gray and the red. It works so well, and they really nailed like the sweater. I love the sweater texture. Any of the ones that have the sweater in the date style version, they all have this really, really great sweater texture. Good Smile has nailed sweaters, so good on them. And then just the hair, just especially from the back, like it just looks absolutely brilliant. So yeah, love this one, but it didn't quite make the cut. All right, next up on the list is the Anya Yor Forger 1/7 scale by Good Smile Company. This was such an anticipated figure for me when I was really, really into the show. I think I was getting into season 2. The thing that holds me back about this is just that there's no Lloyd. It's a bummer. They did announce a Lloyd eventually, but he doesn't go with this set. Like he's outside with groceries and a coat with Bond, I think.
Nope.
So it doesn't really go with this figure. I really wanted the whole family, Lloyd and Bond, in a similar setting. So that's kind of a shame. But yeah, again, with the good smile on the sweaters, they did a really good job on your sweater. And then Anya just looks so damn adorable. Yeah, really, really cute set. I like that they used magnets to keep them on the base instead of having ugly pegs that go up their ass. It's nice that there's just magnets that hold them. They're plenty strong. You can even pick it up. So yeah, and then the seat itself just has a ton of detail, creasing all over based on their weight and everything. Really cool one, and I think they sell for pretty inexpensive nowadays. You could probably pick this up if you're a huge fan. All right, next up we have Kana Arima from Oshinoko. This is the 1/7 scale by Kotobukiya. I managed to get her with the bonus face, which is definitely the way to go if you can. Love, love, love that. They did a really fantastic job. The reason why she's on the honorable mentions list is because I wanted to try and limit my list to one figure per series. So I already have an Oshinoko spoiler in the top 5. So Kana is going to be in the honorable mentions. But yeah, Kotobukiya really nailed this one. Really great shading. Love the pose, love the face. The hat's really cool. It's actually magnetic. It just snaps right in place. Very strong, doesn't move at all. And they're like the only manufacturer that really caught Kana's hair. Like it has, I'm gonna try and get this close up, but her hair has the highlights in it, like the lighter pink highlights that most of the other manufacturers don't include. I have the Kurokawa Idol outfit, and her hair definitely doesn't have those highlights. So Kotobukiya did a very, very good job here. All right, and our final honorable mention goes to the Nagatoro quarter scale bunny by Frieren. I love, love, love Nagatoro. The show Don't Toy With Me Nagatoro is so fun. I've always wanted a good scale of her. She has one scale by... Oh, what's the manufacturer? Huh. Belfine. She has a bunch of scales from Belfine that are all basically the same figure with different faces or different skin color. It's pretty bad. I don't really care for Belfine figures too much. And there's not too many other scales of her on the market. So when I saw this bunny, I knew I had to pre-order it because it really actually captures the character well. A lot of people kind of complained about the face sometimes, but I think the face looks great. I think it's the perfect, like it's not like a lot of binding bunnies get a lot of flack for just being like super standard. They don't really have the character portrayed well, but I think they portrayed her well with her the toying that she does. But yeah, she turned out really great. The thing that keeps her out of the top 5 is just some molding issues. Like her fingers are in kind of different places. Her fingers are kind of like squished together. Like there's no separation of the fingers. It's very clearly like a molding. They just didn't care. So, but aside from that, I think it's a fantastic figure to add to the collection. All right, time to get into my personal top 5 figures of 2024 that I actually own. So let me go grab the first one. All right, coming in at number 5 on the list is Akane Kurokawa from Kadokawa. Very similar names. This one came out relatively recently, and I did a video of her on the channel. There is an unboxing of her, so I'll link that to any of the figures that I have full reviews for. I'll be sure to include links in the description and the pinned comment. Absolutely stunning figure. I waited for this since day one. It went up for pre-order. I pre-ordered it right away, and then I had to wait all that time for her release. I don't think it was a full year, but it definitely took quite a while. So this was hotly anticipated for me, and she just turned out so damn good. The bonus faceplate is everything to me. The hair shading is fantastic. The shading on the clothing goes so hard. Like some of the best shading on a figure that I think that I own. So all around stunning, stunning figure, and I'm so happy that I was able to get her in the collection. All right, I need my phone. Coming in at number 4 is definitely one that I don't think a lot of people are aware of. I don't think it's one that's widely owned, but I saw this original OC character from Animeister, which is kind of a newer Chinese manufacturer, and I love wolves, foxes, anything, those types of animals, like the nine-tailed fox from Naruto, and that whole folklore is great. So this one is actually a 7-tailed fox, not a 9-tail, or a 7-tailed fox girl. I knew Animeister from some of their collaborations with Kadokawa, so I knew that their quality was pretty decent, and this figure was really cool, unique, for a really reasonable price. A lot of their figures are very reasonably priced. This one's actually more expensive, but still not bad considering how good this is. And here she is. stunning, stunning figure. The full name is Huahu Mo Li 1/7 Mo Shang Li Qing version. Oh boy, that's a mouthful. I'm gonna call her the seven-tailed fox girl because it's a lot easier. But yeah, absolutely one of the coolest ideas of a figure to have this really ornate like watercolor scroll starting to come to life, like all these elements are popping out of it. If she was part of the scroll, she's fully emerged out of it. The umbrella is like a real paper and wood umbrella, so you do have to be incredibly careful. It is easily breakable, I guarantee you that. It does not feel firm in the hands at all. Um, but I just love how mischievous she is. I love the outfit, the pose, the shading, the paintwork is all really, really stellar. So yeah, absolutely in love with this figure. The scroll, it's not just painted. This is actually all etched into it. So it's a texture that you can feel. Just overall great, great, great design, shading, manufacturing, the whole 9 yards. Love this one. She comes in at number 4. And for number 3 is Frieren from Kotobukiya. I do have a full review of her as well. I love the show Frieren. I love Frieren as a character. Kotobukiya did a fantastic job with this figure. Whether you get the bonus faceplate or not, I think both are very fitting for the character. Really cool paintwork with the hair, cool purple hues throughout. I love the base. This is probably my favorite base of the 4 scales that we have. Only one isn't out yet, I think, and that's the Good Smile Company one. But I do love this base. I love the flowers, the rocks. Incredible detail on the base. Incredible detail on the outfit. I think this is probably the best face of all of the Freerens. The Good Smile one could become a favorite. I'd have to see it in person. I don't know if I'm going to buy it or not. I don't know if I need more than one. And that one seems like it'll take up a lot of room with that kind of diorama type base, which it is a cool base. I just wish it wasn't so much empty space on one side. Beside the point, Kotobukiya slayed this, and it is such a great figure. Clay Nels is really good. I've been seeing a lot of great things about that. A lot of people on YouTube have been reviewing that as well. So she also looks really good, but got to give it a Kotobukiya when I can because their figures are a great price, great quality usually. Sometimes the paintwork can be a little hit or miss, like the shading in particular that may not be so stunning, but with Frieren, they did a fantastic, great job. All right, coming in at number 2 is the Marin Kitagawa from Max Factory. It was so hard not to put this figure at number 1. There was a huge debate in my head on which one I wanted to put at number 1. And honestly, I'm just biased towards Marin in general. So it was really, really tough to kind of whittle the top 2 down. I think I had 3, 4, and 5 pretty solidified in my head early on. But 1 and 2, oh, it took me so long to finalize which one I wanted at the top spot. But at the end of the day, Marin gets number 2 for just being a little on the simpler side compared to number 1. Still fantastic execution, and I do have a full video of her on the channel. Number 1 eventually won out overall, but this is so great. I love how vibrant this figure came out. It's maybe not as accurate to the source material. I feel like a lot of the artwork for the manga, like the covers, they're kind of more of a pastel-y kind of color scheme. And even in the show, everything is a little less saturated. But I still love the saturated look of this figure. So vibrant. The hair is so yellow, golden with pinks and oranges, and just everything about the outfit. The attention to detail, especially the fingernails actually having glitter. Just a great, great figure. All right, it is time for my personal number 1 pick for 2024. Drum roll, please. It is Ayaka Kamisato from Genshin Impact. I'm such a huge Genshin Impact player. Love everything Genshin. So not a huge surprise that she took my #1 spot. I think she's the only Genshin figure that originally released in 2024, so she didn't even have to compete with any other Genshin figures. Love this one. I do have a review of her as well. So this is by Apex, and all the detail is there. It is ridiculous how good Apex's quality has gotten. From a kind of newer manufacturer, I believe they're a Chinese manufacturer. They started working on a lot of Hoyoverse properties, Genshin being one of them. And their early works weren't bad by any means, but the evolution of this company is crazy. They are absolutely hitting it out of the park on all the figures that they've been making. The detail, like, there's not one paint mishap on this figure, there's not one blemish, not one scratch. Absolute perfection. The base is so cool. I love how this figure is inspired by both her splash art and a very great scene, wet socks and all, and a very great scene in the game as well. Yeah, this is hands down the best quality figure that I owned from last year. What a great one. So happy to add her to the Genshin shrine over there. All right, that's it for my top 5 figures from 2024. There's a few bonus categories I want to hit, but I'm so interested in hearing what all your thoughts are on your favorite figures from 2024. Ones that you own, ones that you just have seen others or maybe friends own, anything and everything. I love to see these lists. I love to see what people think about figures that I maybe don't have, or ones that I do have and I didn't think were worth mentioning, or that didn't make the cut for this list. So make sure to comment down below and let me know your favorites of 2024. I'm super interested. So let's get on to some of the bonus categories. The first bonus category is going to be the best re-release. So figure that re-released in 2024. I don't have too many re-releases, but let me go grab my favorite. All right, and here she is. Let me get the official. So this is Ultra Pendragon Saber Alter Kimono version from Kurokawa. I have always thought this figure was gorgeous, but this figure came out before I started collecting. Her aftermarket was kind of high. It wasn't outrageous, but I wasn't spending too much money when I first started out. I like to try and get the best deals as possible, so I wasn't buying too much on the new side. There's a lot of pre-owned or just a lot of older figures that were unopened that I got at cheaper prices. But when she went up for re-release, I knew it was finally time because the re-release was cheaper, generally speaking, than her aftermarket was. This thing, she is so much bigger than I expected, but I'm so glad I picked her up. The only downside is just how gargantuan the base is, but I love this figure. The detail is out of this world, just so good. The umbrella is unlike the Fox Girl. This one is made out of plastic and the rod is metal. So there's no chance of this less of a chance of this breaking. You don't have to open the umbrella yourself. It doesn't move or come apart really. So I do like that about it. It still looks really nice, but it's not fragile. But yeah, I knew I had to get this into the collection, and this is my favorite re-release of 2024. The next category is the most broken figure. Let me go grab the one that arrived to me the most broken. And the winner of this award goes to Albedo, Restrained version from Kurokawa and Animeister. Well, as you can see, just taking it out of the display case and gently trying to get her over to the table, her wing plopped out again. I could probably glue it. I should probably glue it, but I hate having to fix things. I'm not the most crafty person in the world, but it is in her back, and her hair covers it. Like, you can't see her backside really at all through the hair. So even if I somehow really messily applied the glue, you wouldn't be able to tell. But hold on a moment and let me get this wing back into place as best I can. All right, she's fixed up. Thankfully, it snapped off in her back. So like the peg that goes in during the manufacturing process is the thing that snapped. So it does fit back into the hole somewhat, and that's why I'm fairly confident I could glue this at some point, and it'll be fine. But the other wing is also not the most secure in there. It's not snapped yet, but I have read some comments that other people's arrived broken. So unfortunately, this one is very, very fragile. Um, I have filmed an unboxing and review of her, but it's not on the channel yet, but it will be eventually. So it's a shame because I really, really do like this figure a lot. But yeah, she came pretty busted. I do wish, and I mentioned this in my review, I wish they just had the wings separate and you put them in yourself upon arrival. Most of the Albedo figures, I've a couple other ones, and they do just have the wings come separate, and I didn't have any problem with those. So in the future, Kurokawa and Animeister, if you make any more Albedos, just make us put the wings in. I don't care how much of a pain it is. I'd rather put it in myself than have it arrive broken. All right, we have one more kind of bummer category, and that is the biggest disappointment figure of 2024. Let me go grab it. All right, this comes likely as no surprise to too many people, but my biggest disappointment of 2024 was the Amakuni and Ami Ami power figure, 1/7 scale power figure. Overall, I actually do like this figure a lot, and it's the reason why I didn't sell her. I actually still like this quite a bit, but the prototype photos and the prototype itself was just very, very, very misleading compared to the final product. The final product, the teeth are so small. Like, power, part of her character is just those big, spiky, jagged teeth, and they're barely there. Looking at her super, super close, she has like some fangs on the very outside, and then the smallest, barely there details of jagged teeth. It was a huge letdown overall. From a distance, you're never really gonna know. It's when you get up close that you realize, oh, that's a shame. But I still really like her expression. I still really like the figure, the hammer, and then the nails. Just, they are longer, but they're not quite claws. So they kind of skimped out on that a little bit compared to the prototype as well. But it's not the end of the world. It was just a bit of a disappointment. Doesn't mean I don't like the figure, doesn't mean I don't like the character, but it just didn't quite meet the expectations that I was hoping for. And we have one more bonus category, and that is the favorite figure I bought in 2024 that didn't release in 2024 and didn't have a re-release in 2024 is just one of my favorite pickups of 2024. And this one is a Grail figure for myself and many others. Let me go grab it. All right, here the Grail is. Here she is in all her glory, the Hatsune Miku 1/7 scale Shaohua version by Mythos. This is, I think, my only Mythos figure. I need to get more of their stuff. I know they're a good manufacturer. Oh my god, getting into the figure collecting market, or into the figure collecting hobby, way past this figure's release. I don't think she ever got a re-release. Let me double check. No, she's never gotten a re-release. She released in 2021, never got another one, and man, people bought this thing so fast. It's impossible to find at a reasonable price, generally speaking. Yeah, her aftermarket's crazy. You're always going to end up paying probably $300 plus, and she was nowhere near that upon release. I don't remember. I don't know what she cost at release, but it was like 100 to 150 US dollars probably. Hard to say from 2021 what the conversion was back then, but she wasn't that expensive. I got mine for a steal. I got it used from myfigurecollection.net, and I got her for 150 US dollars shipped. And it also came with the bonus life-size fan that she's holding. The reason why I was able to get such a good deal is part of her hair on the back. There's just a small strand of hair that came unglued. This is how the owner received her when they originally got her back in 2021, where the glue holding that strand of hair let go. And so you can kind of see the glue, there's no paint under it. So it's such a small, minute detail because you're never going to see the back unless if you take the figure out and, you know, turn around, show people, whatever. But when she's displayed, flawless, perfect condition from the front on. This little blemish is so small. Like I could probably use a little bit of glue and cement that strand back down. And it may look a little cleaner, but it doesn't look so bad. But to the human eye, if you're really scrutinizing it, meh, yeah, you can definitely see it from a distance, barely see it. But yeah, I'm still incredibly happy with this figure, and I'm so glad I was able to pick her up for such a good price. Blemishes and all, still easily worth the 150. All right, everyone, that'll do it for me. Hope you enjoyed the list. Make sure to comment down below. Let me know your top however many figures of 2024 that you got. And if you want to chime in on the bonus categories too, definitely let me know. I'm super curious to know what people have got this year, their feelings on quality and stuff that they've gotten this year. I'm always down in the comments replying, so definitely looking forward to it, to the discussion. Remember, this is just my personal preference list. Your list is guaranteed to be a million times different than mine based on our likes and the figures we bought and stuff. But yeah, that'll do it for me. Thank you so much for joining me on this. If you'd like, you can help the channel out by giving the video a like, commenting, subscribing, any of those YouTube-y things to help me out with the algorithm, help boost the channel. I greatly appreciate it, but if you don't want to, that's totally fine. No worries. Watching it has been awesome, so thank you so much, and I will see you in another video, hopefully. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.